When you look at a tree, what do you really see? Probably a solid, silent giant, right? But what if I told you that beneath that quiet exterior, there's a bustling hidden city? I'm talking pipelines, delivery routes, and a factory that's working 24/7. So let's peel back the bark and uncover the secret life that's happening inside a tree right now. I mean, a tree might be rooted in one spot, but it is anything but static. On the inside, it's a living machine that's in constant motion, pulling resources from the earth, channeling energy from the sky, and sending it to every single cell. It's a truly incredible piece of natural engineering. And that's the perfect question, isn't it? To really get what a tree is, we need to peel back its layers and see all these complex systems at work. So let's start a journey from the ground up and find out how it all fits together. Okay, first up, let's tackle the biggest challenge for any tall tree: defying gravity. Seriously, how does it get hundreds of gallons of water from deep in the soil all the way up to its highest leaves, sometimes hundreds of feet in the air? The answer is in an amazing internal plumbing system. Just think about the massive distance we're talking about here. The journey for water and minerals begins way down deep in the soil, absorbed by the roots. From there, it's one long vertical trip up the trunk, through the branches, and finally, all the way out to the farthest leaves. The hero of this upward journey is called the sapwood, or if you want to get technical, the xylem. You can basically think of it as the tree's main water line, a huge network of tiny, thick-walled pipes dedicated to moving that essential water and mineral mix skyward. And what's really interesting is where this sapwood is. It's not the dead center of the tree. Nope. It's actually the newest living layers of wood located just inside that thin, dark line called the cambium. As the tree grows, it just keeps adding new layers of sapwood to keep the pipeline flowing. So think of it this way. The sapwood is the tree's water elevator. It's the newest wood, and its only job is to be a one-way superhighway, pumping water and minerals from the ground floor all the way up to the penthouse leaves. Okay, so we figured out how water gets up, but that's only half the story. The leaves, they're like the tree's solar-powered kitchens, creating all this sugary food. But how does that energy get down to the trunk and the roots? Well, for that, the tree needs a completely different delivery network. And that network is called the phloem. If the sapwood is the water pipeline, then the phloem is the food delivery service. It takes all that sugary energy made in the leaves and distributes it everywhere else, to the branches, the trunk, and all the way back down to the roots. Let's go back to our cross-section here. The phloem is a very, very thin layer, located just outside the cambium, right underneath the protective outer bark. It's a delicate but absolutely vital channel for the tree's survival. The phloem's role is totally non-negotiable. It carries that sugary sap down from the leaves, feeding every single living part of the organism. This is why cutting a ring around a tree's trunk that goes through the bark and phloem is fatal. You're essentially starving the roots by cutting off their food supply line. So let's just do a quick recap of the two systems. Sapwood is the water elevator, moving up. Phloem is the food delivery service, moving down. There are two totally separate highways with opposite flows, both working together to keep the tree alive. Pretty cool, right? So we've seen the two transport systems. But where do they come from? What part of the tree is actually responsible for its growth, for making it wider year after year? Well, let's meet the growth engine. This is the cambium. It's a microscopic layer of cells, but it has a massive job. It is the factory that creates both the new sapwood on its inside and the new phloem on its outside. This is, quite literally, the growing part of the trunk. And its location is just incredibly strategic. The cambium is perfectly sandwiched between the two systems it creates, the sapwood and the phloem. It's a continuous ring of creation, constantly expanding the tree's diameter from the inside out. So how does it get the signal to start working? Well, in the spring, leaf buds produce hormones called auxins. These auxins travel down the phloem food line, and when they reach the cambium, they act as a go signal, telling the cells to start dividing and create the new annual layers of wood and bark. It's this beautifully synchronized process. We've covered transport and we've covered growth. So now, let's add the final pieces to complete our picture: the tree's protective armor on the outside and its nutrient storage at the very core. On the very outside, we have the bark. And this is more than just a rough coating. It's the tree's own personal suit of armor. It's the first line of defense against pretty much everything the world can throw at it. Its job is to be a master regulator, The bark provides insulation from crazy temperatures. It acts as a raincoat to keep out too much moisture, and it serves as a seal to prevent the tree from drying out. It's just an incredible protective layer.
Okay, now let's go from the outermost layer to the absolute core. Right in the very center of the trunk, you'll find the pith. Unlike the hard wood around it, this is a small area of soft, kind of spongy tissue.
The pith acts as a small but important storage pantry. Its spongy cells are designed to store and help transport nutrients throughout the plant, especially when the tree is really young. It's the original starting point from which all the other layers grew.
So there you have it, from the central pith, out through the rings of sapwood, past the cambium factory and the phloem delivery route, all the way to the protective outer bark. Each layer is like a chapter in the tree's life, working together to create the living giant we see.
So, the next time you pass a tree, just remember the secret life going on inside. The water pipeline rushing skyward, the food network delivering energy, and that factory layer adding a new chapter to its story. You'll no longer see just a tree. You'll see a living history book. The only question is, what story will you see?